What's up, guys? HOTSHOTFRONTIER back at it again with another video, and in this video, guys, we're gonna be talking about the meta tier list post YCS Raleigh. So over the past week, of course, we got the results for YCS Raleigh with, of course, Snake Eyes taking that place because this is the year of fire. But personally, for me, I don't think it's purely just a tier 0 format like a lot of people still think it is. It's more of a highly diverse format, and with the decks we're going to be talking about, hopefully I can change your mind on that. So of course we have Meta Definer, Next Best Thing, Could Win Locals, Experienced Pilot, and Not Today Son. Of course, we also have a lower amount of decks this time around, but let's go right into the decks and I'll show you guys. So we have Voiceless Voice, and personally for me, it's the next best thing. Now, it did not, of course, make it in terms of being the YCS champion, but it is still a very strong deck. The fact that it just powers through hand traps in a format like this, where Tempai is pretty much just playing 20 hand traps, is kind of insane, and makes this, hopefully it has its own tier 0 format. We'll see. We'll have the year of rituals, right? So let's see if that happens. But personally, I have a lot of hope with this strategy going forward. Next up, we have Fire Kings, and of course, guys, come on, it's the year of fire, right? Fire Kings with Snake Eyes stuff, of course, really accelerates the deck, and it is just such an amazing deck. Even the OCG is still a tier 1 deck. Going on to Labyrinths, and Labyrinths, finally, they're actually getting very, very close in terms of being its own tier 0 format. We did see this, I believe, either in top 8 or top 16, and I'm really happy because it shows a lot of dedication, and plus, it is the best trap-based deck we have currently out in the TCG. So I kind of do want to see this strive as an Eldritch player personally. Going on to our next pick here, we have Flunderies. Flunderies is another next best thing because it is a great strategy in terms of being anti-meta. You know, anything you're playing, it's like, no, we're not doing that. Plus, Konami has not hit them in a long time, and I don't think they will again. I think at the time, a lot of people were on it because it was very, very much able to kind of stop you from doing anything you want with the barrier statues. But the deck really, even banning that doesn't do much because they can just play anything that they want and still stun your opponent. So it's one of the top choices for me personally in my arsenal. But later down the line, hopefully it wins a YCS too. That is the dream, at least for me. Going on to Branded. Branded, I think currently Branded could be an experienced pilot slot. Now I want to see more Branded spots taken in a YCS. I'm not saying the deck is bad, because the deck is not bad at all. With Gimmick Puppet still alive, and you know they're pretty much able to just summon it and stop your opponent, and a lot of other shenanigans as well. So personally for me, I think it's just in the hands of an experienced pilot. But again, shout out to the person who did top of it, because that is an achievement after how long it's been out, and the fact that, you know, it just keeps getting stopped when it gets to these high level events, and it never really gets to that, you know, champion match type of vibe, I guess I could say. But hopefully the deck changes, because I do want to see this deck go forward with it, you know, with the support and everything. I want to see the deck do well at an event, of course. Next up is Tier Limit, guys, and Tier Limit could win locals. Now I know I kind of wanted to put it here, but personally, if we're talking about a YCS level event, I would put it a little lower, only because look, Lab, Voiceless Voice, and Flu, they're decks that haven't really got hit too much on the ban list, right? Compared to Tier Limit, it's been hit to the ground. Now, the deck can still go insane, but compared to those decks which relatively don't have hits, it's kind of hard to compare them. And you get 100% could win locals, but at a YCS level event, it's a little bit harder. Still doable, but a little bit harder. The deck sort of does need new support or some like non-compatible archetype support later down the line. Going on to Salmon Great, I will put it at Experienced Pilot only because this is a very specific type of Yu-Gi-Oh! Player brain that needs to be dedicated to this deck. And sometimes your opponent might not even know what you're doing too. But the ones that they, of course, know what they're doing, you definitely need to know how you're going to be playing the deck. And the deck is a lot better against cards like Nibiru, which was the deck's weakness for such a long time. So I wouldn't count it out. I know it's the year of fire, but there's still a very specific type of player brain that needs to know how to play this deck. Going forward, we have Unchained. Unchained, I want to say people might be upset at me because I'm putting it at could win locals, which it really is still a great deck, right? But the Javaha, the red, I'm gonna say red, I'm not even gonna pronounce the name. It is very significant, even though this card does go crazy in Unchained plus in Bell. So I would put it here for now, but it's at a very high level. Pretty much it would be like bottom of like next best thing. But of course, guys, anything you disagree or like about the video, let me know down below, of course, in the comment section. Next up, guys, we have Horus, specifically Horus Stun, and I'm going to put that for now. I'm going to put it at not today, son. So Horus Stun is very good, but compared to something like Flunderies or even Lab, I don't think the deck does as good. You know, especially going second, it's not a very strong build, but it is a very cool thing to think about. Just having Horus monsters instead of having like 30, 25 plus hand traps cards. If you want to play hand traps in the deck, of course you can. Long term though, I don't know, at a YCS level it would do very well, but definitely at a local level, actually I will put it at local level, it could do very well. Centurion is a deck that I actually put at Experience Pilot. Now the deck did not see any top placements post, of course, YCS Raleigh, unfortunately, but with the new support from Legacy of Destruction, the Synchro monster can actually protect back row from being destroyed by card effects, which is a very interesting effect for the deck to have. So we can only pray and see how far that will take the deck post Legacy of Destruction, of course. So it is out now. We'll see what happens as the season kind of progresses. Going on to Pearly. Pearly is still probably the next best thing. Even the post panelist, I actually put it here because it is such a good strategy. Getting Delicious Memory to 2 is a huge bump for the deck. So we might be seeing more of these cats around the meta. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but hey, it's around. We'll see what happens, right? Now we're talking about Kashtira, and I actually put Kashtira at could win locals. And we are talking about Kashtira with the Snake Eyes component. I actually would put this at the next best thing, only because the two kind of complement each other very well. And with the small amount of Kashtira cards you are playing in the deck, it actually does give it a big boost, I'm not gonna lie, to the Year of Fire, of course. So I think it belongs here, but let me know down below what you guys think, of course. Going on to Vanadium. So in terms of just this YCS, we didn't really see this deck, unfortunately. I would put it on, personally for me, at Experienced Pilot. I think the deck can do very well. You might have to increase the consistency of cards you're playing in the deck, because now you need to be playing not only really good hand traps, but also really good searcher cards and cards to kind of bulk up the deck and what it does. And you can even add cards like the Infernal Banshee. You can add that to level 4. That will get you to the Nemesis, that will get you to the Corridor, get you to the Thunder Dragon or the Protoss, of course. So a lot of options that way. And I might show you guys a build very soon. Going on to Snake Eyes themselves, of course, come on. I think currently, because again, for the YCS Raleigh, Snake Eyes did take it. It wasn't Fire King. I love Fire King builds, but Snake Eyes took it hands down. Insane strategy. Thunder Dragon, you did not see Thunder Dragon at all, really, in terms of this YCS, and it did not make the top tables. So for now, I will put it not today, son. But hey, it is insane in the current meta post Legacy of Destruction. Of course, you guys with the ban list and everything going on. Now we have Rescue Ace. It took me a second to actually remember how to say this, but it's been a while since we've really seen them. But again, it is the Year of Fire, so you have to give these decks a chance. And I would put it at Experience Pilot. Going on to Runic. Runic is not only a deck that could win locals, it is an insane deck that is personally the next best thing. With Runic Fountain to 2, they can't possibly hit the deck again, right? Of course not. So either way though, so many different components you can be playing with Runic. You can play with Plunder, you can play it with a lot of other strategies that can really kind of complement each other. But personally, I can't wait to see this deck do well in this format. Next up, we do have Sword Soul, and again, we didn't see much Sword Soul. I would actually put it at could win locals currently. The deck is strong, I believe, with the addition of Protoss, but at the same time, guys, the deck does still have issues in its combo line, so it could actually go Experience Pilot, but I will put it at could win locals. Now we have Bell. Bell, personally for me, is one of the next best things coming up, because not only can this deck avoid Nibiru, this deck is a pure counter to something like Tempe. And Tempeh is a huge meta threat. So a deck like this not only stops Tempeh, can avoid Nibiru, but can really do damage to your opponent and other decks in the meta. You can't ask for more. I think this deck is insane and cannot wait to see more of it. Going on to the last one we have here, and that is Plunder, guys. Plunder. It is a meta definer deck, the best deck of all, of course. I would put it, personally, I would put Experience Pilot. Now, this deck was not included in the top 16. I would put it here, personally, but I would actually put it at Experience Pilot because the one Plunder player that mixed it with Runic did very well. And, you know, again, it was a deck that not a lot of people were expecting, and he took advantage of that, and that's a very good job on his part because he was able to take one of the top 16 spots. But guys, that's all I have for the rest of this video. If you guys liked the video, make sure you give it a huge like, comment down below your thoughts on the list if you liked it or you hated it. It's all good, let me know down below. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to update the moment I upload new videos. But guys, that's it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.